Most loan officers can never get past 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 loans a month consistently because of this one critical hire and team player on the loan production team. And unfortunately, this person on your team was just given to you and you really had no choice on whether to use him or her or not. And in this video, I'm gonna share with you exactly what this person should be doing, how to go find them, and what to pay them so they can help you take your production from 5 loans to 10 loans to 15 loans a month in less time, because they're gonna allow your referral partners to have a lot of trust in the way that you fulfill and deliver predictably, reliably, and consistently every single time. I would know because I personally funded over $1 billion in production. And until I understood exactly who needed to be in this position and what they needed to do and how they needed to be led, I struggled day after day, week over week, month over month. Get this position right on your team and everything else in your business will be way more predictable, giving you the confidence that you need to go and get new business. So now let's talk about what this position is and who needs to be in this position. It's what I call a loan partner 3, or commonly known as a loan processor. This person is sort of like the chef in your restaurant. Think about it. And any restaurant you walk into, it doesn't matter how small or big it is. The owner of the restaurant doesn't greet you when you come in, seat you, give you the menu, put your order in, and then go and cook your food. It'd be impossible. That's why this loan processor is like the chef. They get the order, they step in once you have a contract that's ready to be locked and submit it for underwriting to take it all the way to closing. Most of the time, your borrowers and realtors do not have a lot of contact with this person, similar to a chef in a restaurant, but it's all about how they prepare the loan to come out of the kitchen, which is sort of like the big closing day in the mortgage business. So this position is critical in making sure that your borrowers have a great experience at a time where their nerves are really high, because if they don't do a great job, it's going to cause you to have a lot of anxiety and less confidence, which is going to translate to the borrowers having a bad experience and the referral partners not wanting to refer you in the future. Hire a good one and your career will be great. Have a bad one and your career will be terrible. So now let's break down 3 things around this position, right? 1 is, what are their duties? 2 is, where do you find them and how do you actually source the best ones? And 3, of course, is how do you pay them? So let's start with the first one. What is the loan partner 3's top 3 job duties? Number 1 is pre-underwriting. You have a borrower that's committed, you've locked their interest rate, applications completed, and now they're ready to move forward into the underwriting stage. The processor gets your loan, fully reviews the application, makes sure cash, credit, and capacity be prepared for an underwriting submission that's of high quality. At this stage, they're reviewing your work, they're making sure all the T's are crossed, I's are dotted, they're looking for potential landmines in the loan, so when an underwriter actually sees it, it doesn't cause any more issues. They're ordering all the third-party items as well. Homeowners insurance, title, condo, if applicable, flood insurance if applicable, and they're submitting a clean file as we use in our industry, so there's less conditions post-underwriting. A great loan partner 3 takes a lot of pride and takes their file quality submissions personally, because they don't want the loan underwriter poking any type of holes at their work. The worst ones just push paper. They get the file, they don't really review it. They're not a true second set of eyes and ears for you, which causes a lot of blowups and potential loan denials and suspensions, right? If they're not careful what to filter for the loan underwriter's eyes. Some of you hearing that know that from personal experience. I sure do. So it's critical that they're really good at this particular part in their job description, because if they don't get the pre-underwriting done, it's going to affect the post-underwriting and the absolute post-funding, which is not where you want to be. So number 2, post-underwriting. Underwriters review the loan application. It's come out. There should be minimal conditional loan approvals if a good submission was made. They review the conditional loan approval after underwriting, and the best ones do this before they reach out to your borrower for those items. They will either wait to get approval from your loan officer assistant, otherwise known as a loan partner 2, which is another video I break down for that hire, or with you. The worst loan processors do not read the conditional loan approval, simply copy and paste the items from the underwriter. They don't filter them. If your loan partner 3 is not clear in their confusion, the borrower will be confused. And a confused borrower is not going to be a happy borrower. So for example, if they type out LOX and not break that down in vernacular terms such as letter of explanation and why it's needed, that's a classic example of a bad loan processor versus a good loan processor. So a great loan partner 3 knows how to deliver the information at such a critical part in the borrower journey, getting ready for closing in such a way that it doesn't elicit additional concerning questions. They measure twice, cut once. So when that email is sent, followed up by a phone call to make sure your borrower understands those conditions, they gather them, follow up on all the third-party items that they've requested, and should go back for a one-touch CTC, a clear to close. Once that clear to close comes out, they're reviewing the initial closing disclosure, comparing it to what the original loan estimate had. They're going over the CD. They're making sure the day of closing, borrowers have wired all funds and are feeling really excited about their big day. While the closing is happening, they're keeping an eye out on the funding notification as well. The bad loan processors will simply not keep track of closings and what's happening during the closing and if the funding has been cleared at an appropriate time. Pay attention because that's going to be another difference between a bad loan processor and a great loan processor. Now, number 3 of their job duty is post-funding. Sometimes when the loan is getting ready to be shipped out to the end investor will ask for post-funding conditions. Great processors will have less and less post-funding conditions, if anything, and less post-underwriting conditions, if anything. They'll put a lot of emphasis in step 1 of their job duty, which is pre-underwriting. You'll experience sloppy processors that go very fast in the pre-underwriting, but then they'll have a lot of conditions post-underwriting and a lot of conditions post-funding. So pay attention. High quality up front, lots of speed in the back. So the 3 top duties for them is pre-underwriting, post-underwriting, and post-funding. They have to be clear on what their job duties are. Now, unfortunately, most people in the general workforce, especially in the mortgage business, are unclear what their top 3 duties are and how they're measured. How I like to measure their overall performance is a lock-to-loan time-to-task ratio. Once a loan is locked, they should be able to get that loan CTC, whether it's non-QM, conventional, government, and an established guideline that you want, which I think should be 14 calendar days or less. What gets measured gets managed, and it takes all the feelings and emotions out of you holding them accountable. So how do we find this special, great loan partner 3 that will make your loan life as a loan officer a lot better? It's simple. They have to have 5 C's of competency. 4 of them are hard skills. 1 of them is a soft skill. Number 1 is cash. 2, credit. 3, capacity. 4, collateral. They need to be able to analyze a borrower's cash, down payment, cash to close requirements. 2, their credit. They need to fully scrub the credit report to make sure there's no landmines. 3 is the capacity to pay back the loan. They should know standard employed borrowers, self-employed borrowers, high commission borrowers, borrowers that have side gig jobs, borrowers that are non-QM bank statement loans. They need to know these income guidelines in and out. And 4th is collateral, which is the appraisal. They should know immediately when they get an appraisal report if there's any red flags that could potentially be raised. They need strong technical skills. In my opinion, they should be better than even loan underwriters. And the 5th C, which is a soft skill, is communication. This day and age in the mortgage business, everyone needs to know how to communicate. Frankly, it's a professional skill that everyone needs to be able to master. These loan partner 3s are going to have, in most cases, some borrower contact. They need to know how to type well and speak well because there's thousands of dollars on the line. There's a lot of sensitive financial information involved. You never want your borrower thinking that you have someone sloppy handling all that for them at such a critical juncture in the process. So now that you know what it is they should be be doing and what skills they need to possess. Well, how do you find them? The way that I have sourced all of mine in recent years is on wisehire.com, WIZEHIRE.com. It's an incredible all-in-one recruiting platform that will put out your job posting for this position across other multiple platforms that gives you a really clear dashboard to manage your recruiting pipeline as well. So they source all these candidates, give you the resumes where you can go and review them. So there's a tiered process in terms of how you can go through the crate of dirt to find those golden loan processors. Step one is reviewing the resume, making sure, are there any grammatical errors? Because if there's grammatical errors in the resume, you sure as bet will know there's going to be errors later on when they're actually in the position. Secondly, are they kangaroos? How many different companies have they been at over the last 3, 4, 5, 7, 10 years? You want to see consistency. If they don't have that, and they're saying my company went under or I got laid off, then they don't have good discerning skills. They should be better in being able to pick which companies to work for. Third is you want to see their experience. They need to have a minimum of 5 years in this position. You don't necessarily want to hire someone and have them cut their teeth on your dime. Now, if broken clock is right twice a day, you might find some exceptions, but those are the things you want to look for in a resume. Once you have great resumes, here's my trick. In the second tier, to save you time and self-select people out. You can respond to them directly in WiseHire. Say, hey, excited that you found interest in this position. Please send me a 2 to 3 minute video articulating 2 things. 1, what attracted you to this position, and 2, why you think you're a good fit. Now, immediately, many of them won't even pay attention to that instruction. Big red flag. Second, many of them will not even know how to upload a video and won't be resourceful. You can't have that in a modern loan advisor world. And 3, you'll get to see if they can articulate. Remember, communication is an important skill. You don't need them to be Tony Robbins or Martin Luther King Jr. as far as communication skills, but you should see them be able to talk and coherently finish their thoughts. And you can get a good feel of their energy as well. If they pass that, you can schedule the interview. When you get on the interview, there's 4 to 5 questions I always recommend that you ask. 1 is going to be around cash. If you got a borrower that has a bank statement, what's the top 3 to 5 things you're looking for? And let them answer it verbally. 2, when you get a credit report, what's the top 3 to 5 things you're looking for? And let them verbally describe it. 3 is capacity. You get a standard vanilla box borrower that's W-2 or hourly wage earner. What do you look for on their pay stub? 4 is collateral. Hey, when an appraisal comes in, what's the top 3 things you look for? Why I like a live proficiency conversation is because they can't chat GPT it and they can't go do the research. If they can't answer those basic questions around cash, credit, capacity, and collateral, they don't have the skills. You'll find a lot of loan processors are loan posers. They've been pushing paper their whole career, and they got a lot of makeup, right, around their ugliness of skills. So this will allow you to see how nervous they are in the interview. So building good interview skills takes time, but hopefully what you've just picked up here will help you greatly accelerate. Hiring is unfortunately guessing, firing is absolutely knowing, but with some of these skills that I transferred to you today on this video, you should be able to pinpoint the players from the posers. Now I know all this can sound confusing. That's why I've created additional playbooks for you by going down to the description and having access to them. So now on to the last part is the compensation. What do you pay this person? This is where a lot of people make mistakes. There should be 3 tiers to every great loan processor, aka loan partner 3's compensation. Number 1 is salary, and a strong salary. Remember, these are people that want stability, they want security, they want longevity in their role. They're not commission people like you and I. That's the biggest mistake is we want to pay people how we want to be paid. We want to treat people how we want to be treated. The best leaders, which is what you are and what you're becoming, meet people where they are. They will pay people how they want to be paid. They will treat people how they want to be treated. So compensation is a very serious thing and will help you keep top A player talent for a long time. So number 1, the salary. This should be strong. Depending on where this person lives geographically is going to make a big impact. Minimum is 60,000 base to 80,000 base is the range, which brings me to a side point. Should this person work in my office? I don't believe so. I believe you want them working remote because they can be more focused and not distracted, and they'll work more hours, and they'll be available after hours when they work from home. And it greatly expands also your talent pool access. They should be in your time zone or relatively within one time zone off to where most of your borrowers are actually living. 2 is going to be per file commission. It's going to be $50 to $300, somewhere in that range. The biggest mistake I see loan officers make is they pay basis points. Do not do this. I will stand on this for as long as I live. When you pay basis points, you will end up overpaying. When the market booms, they will get highly overpaid. And when the market busts, they will not know how to adjust, and they will not understand the variability and the seasonality and the market dynamics of the mortgage business that always brings booms and busts. You're setting yourself up for failure, and you're setting them up for failure. Strong salary, strong profile. Now, if you're a broker, I understand you have third-party processing. You don't pay them a salary, but they might get up to $1,000. Eventually, if your company allows, your state allows, you open your own third-party processing company, and you can control what you pay that processor through your lender fees. But I digress, and the last one is commission. They are not hermits. They do not hide in their basement. They are not Unibombers. They have friends and family and associates. So they should be an advocate and an ambassador for the business. Any type of self-source business they bring in, you pay them a flat fee of $500. You want to encourage them to be out there and to talk about the business and to bring referrals your way. So strong salary, strong per file, strong commission for any deal that they bring in, never any basis points. When you have this person, they're an absolute superstar, and superstars are shooting stars. You get them in front of you in an interview, you have to act fast. Do not worry about, if you need to pay them more, because you have worked so hard to go out there and promote and prospect yourself. You've gone out there and persuaded for people to send you business. You've worked so hard to structure that loan, so hard in updating the pre-approval letter after hours. You've locked the rate. This is where you have to prove your promises. How you perform here is going to directly predict how much more future business you will get from that happy borrower and all the third parties involved. So when you have a great loan processor, they will give you great wings, and they will say, I got this, and they'll take that loan all the way to closing like it's their own family member, which will allow you to have a lot of confidence when you go out there to bring new business in. Otherwise, you'll be paralyzed at your desk, nail biting every single loan that's in there, and are not going to want your processor to even look at your borrowers, which is going to cause a lot of insecurity. You get the right person in place, you will go from 2, 3, 4, 5 loans a month to 7, 10, 12 loans a month consistently, and not have any more roller coaster production months. So listen, being a loan officer is very difficult, but it can be very rewarding, and it becomes more rewarding when you have the right people on the team. So this YouTube channel was created by a loan officer for you, the loan officer. So smash the subscribe button as I put out videos every single week that will help you level up. Let's go.